Scary. Come on up here. Come on, up here. Come on, up here. Who's a beautiful girl? Eh? Oh, what's going on? Morning, everybody. How's your morning so far?
Welcome to the 636 Club. It's time for the Douse Gun warm-up. Rise and shine, it's farming time.
Hey, Annie.
Beats ready to go online.
Miracle. Dennis.
Welcome to the 636 Club. It's time for the Douse Gun warm-up. Rise and shine, it's farming time. Farmer Pete's ready to go online.
Good morning and welcome to the 636 Club. Geraldine O'Keefe on YouTube says, thought you'd still be in bed after your early ride with the escaped sheep from a cool, dry Ireland. Thank you, Geraldine. Good morning. Welcome to the 636 Club. Yes, for those of you who are just awakening, let me tell you, look at the moonset. That's not a thing, is it? It'd be better if I could say look at the sunrise, but there's your moon this morning. Look. And if it's dark where you are, like if you're in America, where it's dark, Australia, New Zealand, you're going to be light, aren't you? Because it's going to be nighttime. If you're in America or you're in anywhere in Europe, let me think where all our Dalsconis are. Sweden, Norway, Switzerland. Help me out here. France, Germany, Holland. Not want to leave anybody out. Come on, keep them coming. Portugal. If it's dark where you are, look out the window. Get up, have a wee look out the window. And that's the same moon that I'm looking at right now. You could look at it two ways. Through the window and through your phone. You're seeing it from two different angles. Isn't that something amazing? Who's on this morning? Who's with us in the 636 Club? Deborah says, hiya Pete from Baltic, Calgary in Canada. And Canada as well, Deborah. It's going to be dark there. Have a look out. Look at that moon. Where's everybody? Linda says on YouTube, good morning, Farmer Pete. It's cold. We have a snowstorm, several inches here in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. You must be so tired after chasing the sheep. Yes, for those of you who don't know. All right. 3 o'clock this morning. Yes, 3. We're talking this many, right? 3 o'clock. Doorbell rings. Did I hear it? No, I did not. But Percy heard it. It's scary. That was a little bit abrupt coming in for that carrot. Did you think Atom was going to get it? Right, Atom, you get it under here. Come on, it's all right. It's not going to... Come on. 3 o'clock this morning, doorbell rings. Awakes us all, eventually. After Percy had heard it. Tricia, elbow, dig, ribs. That's the doorbell. I thought, oh no. Now, any farmer, you can ask them, okay? Any farmer, when you get a doorbell ring in the middle of the night, 9 times out of 10, it's livestock on the road. There's livestock out somewhere. It was 3 o'clock or just after 3 o'clock. I tried to come to my senses, got up, dressing gown on, down the stairs. By this time, they'd wandered away from the door, but I could see outside that it was a policeman, a policeman, as they say in Scotland. Trousers was waiting for us down here, look. So goes to the door. But this time, he'd left the door. I seen him through the window walking away, and he was back in the van. So I had to go outside, right across the yard, to the van. Was sitting at the gates because drive homers, Dalscony drive homers, the gates were closed, all right, and they couldn't get in. So he pops back out of the van, Mr. Policeman. He must have been all of 19 years old. We've been talking about ages this week. He's very young for a policeman. He says, there's sheep out in the Grove. Now, the Grove is a little housing estate just up the road here. Just up like a quarter of a mile up the road. They're in somebody's garden as he got back into the van and then put his head back out and said, "Number 31. I said, "Thank you very much. Do you know what time it is?" 3 o'clock in the morning. Blooming sheep out. I knew, as soon as I heard this, what sheep they were. All right. The blooming Herwicks. All right. Now, don't let these Herwicks fool anybody. They look docile and dormant and like the world's oldest sheep, all right? You look at them and you think, oh my goodness, why have you got such old sheep? They may be old, but man, there's some life in them. And I've come to my own conclusion that the trousers... You know what? I'm so organised this morning. Got our devotions done. By the way, I'm buzzing to share them with you this morning. Lord just keeps giving them to me, and I just can't wait to share them with you. Coming up shortly. What was I saying? Herwicks. Now, come to my own assumptions that these Herwicks are of the hefted variety. The hefted sheep are sheep that, for instance, live on some large area of land in the Lake District in the north of England, all right, where there's thousands of acres of open ground. Thousands of acres. And these sheep are not fenced in, but they live in their own heft or their own group. And there could be various farmers that farm this piece of ground, mass areas of ground. But the sheep, they all just stick to their own patch. All right, they don't mix. Here's Clancy, our poor old guinea fowl, couldn't remember the name there, who has been, these two have Fancy and Nancy have disliked Clancy, and poor old Clancy has to stay most of the time, or her or himself, don't know what way round it is, but for some reason, been kicked out of the group. The guinea fowl are not of the Herdwick variety, the Herdwick sheep variety. They're not hefted. They're very much like unhefted, right? Not sticking together. So these Herdwicks we've got, remember when they came, we kept them up, did we not keep them in the shed up here for a while? And they seem quite comfortable, seem quite stoic. Put them out, and for some reason, now I know we have reported this in the past, there was a Sunday afternoon that they also went to the Grove, housing estate up the road. They've got some sort of magnetic pull to go up there. For some reason. They've got all the ground they want down here, but they want to go up to the Grove housing estate, and particularly into number 31's garden. And if number 31's listening this morning, I apologise. It, by the way, as my story continues, once the police officer had reported this, I came back into the house. My head was like doing 90 to the dozen, as they say. I thought, what the earth are we going to do at 3 in the morning in the pitch black with these sheep? I came back into the house, I locked the door behind me and went back up to bed. Right? All right, because it was that kind of the little emoji you've got on the emojis where it's a little face and puts two hands over their eyes. Yeah, I was feeling that. Came back up and got back in. I will admit, I got back into bed. Tricia says, "What are you doing? You better go and get them." I thought, "Oh, really? Really? There's plenty of grass in number 31's garden. You can maybe wait there till it's daylight. Phone the boys. Phone the boys." Now this is the very reason. It's taken maybe. When did Farmer Joe and Fee move back over to this side of the town of the town? Here she comes. Come on then. Right. No carrot till we get a smile. Come on. Okay then. There you are. Good girl. That would be an amazing thumbnail from Start YouTube, wouldn't it? In the mornings, if we could get that. And by the way, YouTubers, Facebookers, we love you and you always support us. And the 636 Club is originally on Facebook, but YouTube on 636 Club on Tuesday had our highest ever views. Thank you so much. I don't know why. Part of the reason might have been when we did a little thumbnail before we came on with Scary and Squintmouth. I don't know why that's got. It seems to look, she's showing off now. Now, what I did when I was coming up, I was so organised, but I forgot to put any cake in my pocket. And the cake that we just gave to Trousers down there was just a little bit I had left from Tuesday morning. And I had only a few carrots left. I've got one left. I was hoping to go down and see Spot at the end of the 636. Oh, what am I going to do? Betty Marshall, who was down seeing us last week. Lovely Betty from Kilmarnock in Ayrshire came down to see us, and her lovely husband, and brought us a bag of carrots. Betty, this is the last of your carrots I'm using this morning. This is the very last one. They've done last Friday, Tuesday, and today. Thank you so much. What were we talking about? Right, help me out here. I was mid-story. Yes. Now, this, Joe and Fee, when they moved back over to this side of the town, this was the very reason why we requested they come back over to this side of the town for this very event, when the Herwicks are out at 3 o'clock in the morning in number 31, the Grove's garden. All right. So it meant I could pick up the phone, which I did. Phoned Farmer Ben first. Guess what? No answer. Answer machine. Your call has been forwarded to the such and such voicemail service. Please leave your message. So then instantly phoned Farmer Joe. Now, if it was my guess, and you phone Joe during the day, he never answers, but I didn't expect him to answer first thing. And 2 rings. Oh, I'm going to have to give her another carrot, aren't I? But here's the end of Spot's carrot. Here you are. Here you are. Been a good girl. Yes, you have. You're a beautiful girl. Listen. Can you hear that crunch? Joe picked up instantly. I said, there's sheep out in the grove. He says, oh, right, I'll be there in a second. So instantaneously, he says, I'll get you there. So I got up, got dressed, out, got the mule, headed up the road. Traffic on the road. They've been having these roadworks outside and traffic lights on up the road and traffic chaos. Nothing. No traffic. Drove straight up to the traffic lights. No, there was nobody about. And the only good thing about it, it was the most beautiful morning. It was quiet. There's no traffic. If you can say that about 3 in the morning. Hey, Dennis, what are you saying? I don't think of any cake left here. It's barely crumbs. Barely crumbs. He says, I'll have that. That's all right. That's all right. Marvel's, she's over there busily munching away at the hay. Look at these two. Isn't it strange they've ousted one from the clutch? Is it a clutch? Yeah. They just don't like, don't know. Girl, Fancy and Nancy, you're being very bullies. Take your... There's There's a piece of wool that was on kingpins underneath that Farmer Farmer Ben and Connor took off last night. That's disgusting. Left lying there. Anyway, what we were talking about? No idea. Got lost. Joe, Grove, sheep. Harriet, sorry. No. You know we love you, but showing off. Good girl. Good girl. There's Miracle's munching away here. Nice bit of free range hay as well. They Kimberly Robbins has sent Harriet, especially. I'll have to give her another carrot now, Kimberly. A beautiful super chat on YouTube. Thank you so much, Kimberly. That was so kind of you. I only know to say super chat because I hear Farmer Ben talking about it. I wouldn't really know otherwise. Julie from Australia on YouTube, 28 degrees Celsius today at 25 past 5. That's weird. It's 25 past 5 there, PM. And what time is it here? 6 minutes to 7 in the morning. So Julie's in one of these places in Australia that opts out of the kind of usual. You're half hour. You're on different to have a half hour rather is on the hour. Anyway, do you know what I'm talking about? Yes, Joe hops in the mule, heads up into the grove, which comprises of what, 100 houses maybe. I had no idea. I was looking for number 31. It was pitch black, and I couldn't. I'm trying to cut this carrot here. I did keep this one whole. Dennis! Hoping for Spot, but I'm going to have to give it to Harriet now because she's being a good girl. There you are. So after getting off the mule, and by the way, it was so quiet. There's no traffic about. Driving through this housing estate, and the mule. I mean, it's not the quietest of things at the best of times, but it suddenly amplifies itself by 100 times decibels because it's so there's nobody about, it's so quiet. I'm driving through here thinking, oh my goodness, trying to go slowly, not to wake everybody up. Didn't want everybody up looking out the window seeing what the funny noise was outside. Anyway, stopped it, started to walk up some of the paths into the houses to see what numbers there were because I couldn't see a thing. I was at number 55. Just at that, the phone rings. It was Joe. I've got them. They're just in the big garden next to the road, just down from the garden centre. Now, I knew exactly where it was because the first house, as you up the road from here to the Grove, first house on the left at the Grove, it's got a great big garden and it's the one right next to the road. He says, they're right next to the road. We will, if you come up, we'll just put them out and we'll run them down the main road. Yeah, the main road out here, just back to the farm. I said, right. Because if I had to take them down the back way into the what was the willow field and along, that was going to be a nightmare because it'd be pitch black. We wouldn't be able to see a thing. And yeah, you don't want to go down there in the middle of the night. It's a good idea. So I came up, blocked. Jules, when I was blocking the road, Jules brought them out of the garden. We got them turned and onto the main road. Or onto the pavement. There's a barrier as you walk on the sidewalk or the pavement out to stop everybody running straight onto the road. There's a pavement barrier there, and they needed to turn right. But from where I was looking at, they turned left, and I thought, oh no. And I'd lost sight of Joe at this time, but thankfully he was in front of them. So goes back to the mule, jumps on, heads down the road, got out into the main road, could see nothing left or right. Couldn't see no sheep, no Farmer Joe, no nothing. I phoned him again. He answers. I said, where are you? He says, we're almost at Dulscone. I says, oh my word. I says, I didn't know they could move that fast. He says, oh, they can move fast. I didn't know Farmer Joe could move that fast. because he was out of sight by this time. So heads down, got round over the top of the hill to where I thought I could see Joe, and it's just a slight hill, see Joe and the sheep. Couldn't see them either. I'd lost sight again. Thought he's just disappeared into thin air. I'm going to have to give Trousers another carrot. She's saying, come on, here, darling. There you are. Oh, you dropped it. No, Trousers. No. Was it too big a bit? Cut this last wee bit. They're all. Here, I've dropped that other bit. No, come on. Yes. No. You can have it then, darling. There you are. So, instead of coming right down the main road towards the farm, they had veered off to the left into another housing estate across the road called Woodgrove. He says, oh, they're in Woodgrove. I says, whereabouts? Over at the back. They're heading right round the back into Bloomfield, which is a little housing estate directly across from the farm. I said, all right. He says they're heading for the play park. There's a play park around there. So I said, right, I'll get you where you want me. He says, you head into Bloomfield. So I heads round. And right, sure enough, we rendezvoused round at what used to be the football pitch at the back of Bloomfield. What we're going to do now? Oh, we'll just walk them through Bloomfield, across to the farm, across the road into the car park, and put them in the paddock there. Okay, sounds easy, but these Herwicks, as I said, they're the kind of the hefted variety. They're wanting to go back, and they're wanting to go back the way they came. They knew how they got to the Grove from the farm, because they've been there before, and they were wanting to go back that way. So trying to persuade them to go another way was quite difficult. We need another pair of hands. Right, I found this crumb of a piece of cake in my pocket. Here you are, Harriet. Can you get that? That's it. Carrots are gone. Cake's gone. A lot. Good girl. Sorry, Rosie, I've nothing left, darling. Sorry. So Joe phoned Ben. Thankfully, he answered this time. So that was our extra pair of hands. So Farmer Ben came racing down the main road. We walked him through Bloomfield, and they behaved quite well. Out onto the main road. Ben stopped from going back up again, the way they came. I was stopping them going further on into the town, which was great. And we got them across into the car park and persuaded them to go into, it's nearly light, guys, persuaded them to go into the little paddock down by the road. Now, it was so dark this morning, and I was so disgusted with them, all right, okay? Yeah. I don't use that word lightly, but I didn't even look to see were they still down there. I hope they are. Now, they were also out, can I tell you? Come on, Miracle. Oh, here's Annie as well. Come on then. They were also out yesterday morning, all right? So, because I was in getting breakfast about, what time? 7:30. It was quite early. And Jack and Craig from Small Animals were arriving. Jack came to the door. He says, the sheep, the Herwicks are out in the car park. All right, they were in the car park down here. Yeah, there's a pattern building here. We'll just grab some cake. Are you two coming for a walk, Miracle? Are you going in there? Try some cake. We'll go down and see Spot because we fed all the carrots. Grab a bucket full of cake from in here. They were also out yesterday morning, as I was saying. So the breakfast was disturbed. There's nobody else here. Come on then. Annie, come on, let's go. Come on then. Come on, Miracle. Annie, let's go. Come on. You want to come and walk? Come on, darling. Here, look. Here. Come on then. That's a girl. There he's on. Right, come on out of there, because one he might come round and go in there. Come on, here. There we go. Yeah, right, yesterday morning. So Craig and Jack and myself put them back into the same paddock they're in now. But one got separated just before we got them into the field. So the rest of us pals, they're down there, we're in the field, it was behind the fence this height here. I said, Jack, you get that gate. Craig, you keep it there. You open the gate and then we'll run it back in, because I was watching that way, Craig was watching that way, and Jack was opening the gate. These old looking sheep didn't want to stay until the gate was open, did it? It just took a hop and a jump and it louped that fence that height, whoof. Says, I'm not waiting for any gate to open, just clean that like an antelope roaming wild in the African savannah or wherever it is. And yeah, so these Herwicks, they're causing us slight issues. Hey, come on, Dinks. Here you are. There, that's not Dink, that's Muddy Buddy. Here's Dinky. Come on here. So anyway, everybody, so from we got them back in, down the main road, which is, I don't think I've ever ran livestock down the main road, the A701, the main trunk road to Edinburgh and Glasgow. But that's a first in the middle of the night. So we had them all back in by 4. And I said to Joe and Ben, live up that way. I says, I had the mule there. I says, I'll give you a lift up the road. Joe says, no, it's all right. Because he'd been running. Those big long legs were going some. It's all right. I'll walk off the effect of the burning lungs. You know when you're running fast and your lungs burn. So he had a nice middle of the night, early morning, hey Spotty, stroll back up the road. So it's 4 o'clock, time to go back to bed. And you know when you've been out running about, after getting a phone call to wake up, it's very hard to go back to sleep again, isn't it? Very hard. So, needless to say, wasn't much sleep from 4 o'clock. But that just gave us more time to prepare for the 6:36 club. Well, anyway, I've blabbed on so much. Sorry about that. How you all doing? Heather says, how can you keep them in? Great question, Heather. Great question. They seem to be quite happy in this paddock here. We're Spot. And there's Fanta over there, by the way, everybody. You know, and Lullabet and Sir Andy. Spot and Co. Fanta has now joined Spot and Co. She's how do you describe it? She's identifying as a llama now. These are her best friends. She's loving it outside. Loving it outside. The thing is, it's great for them outside. They're outside, it's dry, it's bone dry. Everything's dried up. We can feed them hay. Come on, darling, you coming up to see us? Because everybody wants to see you. Come on in. We'll go in. Let's go in here. The trouble is, the forecast was, Annie, you can't come in. You two wait there. You wait there. I'll come back in a second. I'll come back, Miracle. It's all right. We're going to see Fanta. We're going to see your foster mum. Back in a second. Come on then. Come on, darling. Yeah. She's loving life outside. Loving it. There you are. There you go. Oh, there's a girl. There's a girl. What are you thinking? Trouble is, the weather, look at the condition she's in, was set to be good, set to continue. It's been dry for a week. And things have dried out so well. But the weather's to change. We have to get like snowy sleet tomorrow. I checked the weather before I came on this morning. And unfortunately, with very little grass growth and with them eating the grass down so much, now it doesn't matter if they haven't got much grass here because we're feeding them. They've got their hay and their hay hicks. It's no different. Annie and Miracle are freaking out a wee bit. I'm coming now. You might as well feed them outside as feed them inside. The only trouble is with them romping the grass down so much, if it does rain tomorrow, it's just going to like kind of lie on top. This is like a big panned flat sheet now, and there's no grass to kind of soak up the moisture. So it looks like we're going to have to. I mean, maybe a day's rain would be all right, but the rain's forecast for a few days, so we're going to need to get them back inside again. Right, here I am. Sorry for leaving you. Annie! Ah. What are you doing in there? You don't want to be in there. Come on. You've done a silly thing. Oh, what have we done? Come on, here. Now she's freaking out. Wait. Here, Annie, come on. Here. Come on, baby. Come on. Here, come on. Come on in. Come on. I need you to come in. Come out. On you go. There you go. There. Don't see Miracle. You don't want to, because not she's going to come to any harm in there, but you better stay with the Miracle. Come on then. So yeah, they've enjoyed their few days outside, and I see so many different vloggers or farm bloggers and farmers from different parts of the world, and you're wintering all your lovely stock outside, be it America or Australia's got good weather obviously, but and you don't get the same amount of rain we get, so you can keep them outside. The ground conditions are good, but if it gets wet here, our ground just gets sodden, and it looks so much more pleasure, well, don't take it in the wrong way, more pleasure having them outside in a nice dry environment. Well, it's a lot nicer for them being out in these conditions, because you've seen Phantoms just lying by the feed trough enjoying the nice morning. This is our first 6:36 2025 outside. Amazing. And here, this dirty great big pipe here was taken from, this was in the farm park outside, and we bought this, probably this is one of the first, I know it doesn't look like much of a play item, but we bought this when we opened the farm park, like way back in 2004, and it's a cheap and cheerful activity for kids, because they just like to crawl through it or jump on it or whatever. So our faithful pipe has served as well. There's no place for it now. Sad days. Never mind. Now, our devotions this morning, I said I was buzzing to share them with you, and I am. I've just blabbed on quite a bit. And we've got a song for you to listen to. I am not going to sing it. No, I am not, because I haven't got the rasp to sing it. Now, those of you who like your contemporary Christian music will have heard of an artist called Brandon Lake, an American young man who makes some great Christian music. And those of you who follow your music, one of the most famous music artists in the world at the minute is a chap called Jelly Roll. And if you don't know Jelly Roll, he has got quite a CV. Now, if your way into heaven, which it isn't, was your CV, all right? If your way into heaven was your CV, if Jelly Roll took his up and showed it to the Lord would be looking at it and saying, Jelly, you've got quite a CV. Jelly is searching for the Lord. He has, as I say, he's got quite a CV. Spent quite a lot of his life in prison. He's been to hell and back, to put it politely. But he's teamed up with Brandon Lake to redo one of Brandon's songs. And part of a few of the lyrics go like this: there's times when my hands go out freely, and times that it costs. There's days when praise comes out easy, and days when it takes all the strength I've got. I've wrestled with darkness, but I'm trying to reach for the light. The struggle keeps me honest, and it breaks down the walls of my pride. Listen to this, because faith isn't proven like gold till it's been through the fire. My head, heart, and hands are feeling heavy, and that's when I lift them just a little higher. And that made me think of this verse from Luke 15, verse 7. I tell you that in the same way, there will be more rejoicing in heaven over one sinner who repents than over 99 righteous people who do not need to repent. Check out the song. Google it. Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll. Hard fought. Hallelujah. Whether you're a believer or not, but if you love your good music, and this comes with a warning, if you listen to this song and you appreciate good vibe, happy, just a good song, this is going to get into your head and you're going to be singing it. All right, Hard Fought Hallelujah from Brandon Lake and Jelly Roll. And Denise, lovely Denise, who lives in St. Augustine in Florida, and Marilyn, who lives in California in America. Both reshare the 636 devotions in the morning. And I imagine there'll be a little link when the girls put those up later on today for you to listen to that song. Makes me quite emotional, actually. It's just a beautiful thing. What Jelly Rolls came through and where he's heading. And I just have a feeling the Lord has got his hand upon him and is helping him through. If you don't know his background, look him up, Jelly Roll. He is everywhere at the minute. Huge country artist, and a CV, the length of both of my arms, as they would say. Amen. And may the Lord bless the reading to his word this morning. Isn't it beautiful that we've got some daylight? Spring is very much on the way. Yes, so the forecast originally, yesterday, had been we're going to get dry weather like this all the way through to next week. And now it's changed. We don't want it not to be dry. Because it's going to make... There's a lot of work going on with the sheep at the minute. I know we've mentioned the Herwicks this morning, probably too much. But our new sheep that we bought on... What day was it? Tuesday. Can you see them down there in the corner of the right-hand long field? They've made their way down there. And it means we can use those long fields, the right-hand long field, the middle one, and the triangle field, as we call it. Because in wet conditions, it gets a bit soggy down there, but it means this week we can use them down there. Now, that's where the blooming Herwicks were. They were down there with the new ones we bought. Didn't want to stay with them, did they? So it's been quite an eventful night. And quite fun. Don't want to say it, but, sometimes when you're out in the middle of the night chasing livestock, it's quite fun. I remember a few years ago, a long time ago, Charlie Gibb, the wonderful Charlie, who's no longer with us. You've heard me mention him before. Charlie lives, it's now his son Stuart, who lives in that farm up there. See that farm I've zoomed in on? Called Auchencreef. Alright. Charlie was a dairy farmer, Stuart's still a dairy farmer. And one night, like this, we got a call to say we had got cattle out, cows out. Again, at the back of the groves that we just talked about this morning, funny enough, they weren't in the grove. And it was, I think it was like 11 o'clock at night. And when you get the call, as I say, any farmer doesn't like getting this call, there's livestock out, especially at night. Chances are, they could have been ours, or they could have been Charlie's. So I phoned Charlie. I says, there's beasts out. Oh, right. So he met me down somewhere. But it ended up, him and I were chasing cattle out of the woods behind the grove at midnight. It was a long time ago. But thankfully, Charlie had a torch with him. because in those days you had no mobile phone, so nobody had a torch. All right, I seen Joe running about last night with the phone torch. Good job, it's there. Annie, oi, come on, darling, you're getting distracted. So yeah, that just brought that back to mind. So yeah, handy that the boys. See, this is the thing. They can't really live too far away, because if Joe had lived where they were when after they got married, which is across the other side of the river, would have took them too long to get here. Would have been too big a job. But anyway, it all worked out. Come on, Annie. Come on. What are you doing in there? Let's have a wee look at Fiona before we go. Have I talked too much this morning? I apologise if I have. Jennifer says, Farmer Pete, almost. Yes, thank you. It is almost time. I can smell that coffee. Amy says, I still use a flashlight. I know. Here's Winnie coming. I know, but it's handy to have one. Trouble is, in that situation, if we had one, nobody would know where it is. We're not that kind of organised. Or maybe no batteries in it or something. The mobile phone has ruined so much, hasn't it? Not ruined, but I mean, you now don't need a flashlight. You don't need an alarm clock. You don't need a camera. What else is it taken away? Let me think. Put them in the comments if you can think of another. I've given you 3, so it's your turn. All right. Julie says, never talk too much. Even I'll dispute that. I must dispute that. Radio and TV, yes. Princess says it's taking away the radio and TV. You know, that is right. You know, Farmer Alice was out last night, our young adults group from the church, and Trish's Toys, funny you say that, Trish's Toys headed up to Nana Pat, and she's up there for ages. I had a bath, right, soaked for a while, and then went upstairs to get just organised, lay in the bed, and I had, you know, Jason Bourne, you know, the Bourne films, I got them all on my phone, right? So there's nobody in the house, I just got in the bed and watched one of the Bourne films. Don't tell Trisha, because it might have been the 100th millionth time that I've watched it. She says, are you watching that? Are you watching Bourne again? So it's taking away the TV and the radio. Debbie says the recorder. Alison says don't need to buy a newspaper anymore. That's true. When you do see people like you used to see, Winnie, what are you doing out anyhow? When you do see people now that used to see years ago, you know, walking to the corner store, shop, or garage, as the case may be, you know, to pick up the papers in the morning. Remember, people used to go in and used to buy like 2 and 3 papers to get all the news. Doesn't do that anymore. Amy says never too many times to watch Bourne. I agree, Amy. I agree. There's a whole nother 636 in here to discuss Bourne, but we better not. Mobile phone, Janet says, gives you a calendar, weather forecast, and the news on tap. Calculator, says Laura. Hey, love it. Yous are coming at me with them here. Thank you, Terry. Have a great day, Farmer Pete, and everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. It's Valentine's Day. Oh my goodness. Thank you for reminding me. Wow. Right. Okay. Right. That's. We better get going then. Notebook, says Kelly. Artemis, the weather. It's. But let's not let them take over our lives, guys. Right. And it also gives us the ability, if you're up at 6:36 in the morning on a Tuesday and a Friday, to talk to people all over the world, and you can talk back to me by sending me a little note. Isn't that amazing? Yes. So amazing. Where's Annie went? She's gone again. Right. I think she's maybe went over there. Right, come on, Miracle, take you around. I'll have to come round, put miracle in, and jump on my trusty steed, which is the mule. We have got a beautiful crow. What do you reckon? Is that a crow or is that a raven? What do you think, guys? Let us know in the comments. Oh, by the way, we can see today, you know the long exasperated story I told you about the power going off on Tuesday morning, 6:36 Club, and there's something white lying in that field down there, which I hope it's just a bag or a piece of plastic. I need to investigate that. Don't know what that is, but hope it's nothing sheep related. Anyway, on Tuesday, remember I said I was at the market and there's emergency vehicles going up the road and causing chaos, and then the electricity went out at the same time, and we thought everything was related. Well, now I can confirm it was not related. It was just coincidental, because those poles down there, those electric poles, which serves that green box down there, which is the repeater, telecommunications repeater station. Here's money up, see. A branch apparently fell off one of those trees, because the boys weren't fixing it. Those trees next to it, a branch had fell off and landed on the transformer box down there and arced the two wires across, and that's what put the electricity off. So it was all this scary stuff, the emergency vehicles flying about, fire engines, police cars and ambulances. Nothing to do with the electric. It was totally unrelated. Just, here's Annie coming. Come on then. Come on, darling. It just happened at the same time. Somehow. There we are. Now, I'm sure there's so much more I wanted to discuss with you this morning, but our time is gone. And I feel a coffee coming on. So, and I need to, for the members of the Drive Home Club, which is on our Facebook supporters and YouTube members page, all right, happens most mornings, but we're trying to, in these quieter times, when it's quieter in the Dalscon Diner, we're trying to limit me going to pick up the messages in the morning to Monday, Wednesday and Friday and a Saturday. So I don't need to go Tuesday and Thursday. So if you missed the drive home yesterday, we weren't on because we didn't have to go, but we'll be on this morning. Saying that, it'll probably be every day next week because it's half term coming up. So those teachers out there in England, some of the schools further north from above the central belt in Scotland have been off this week. It's Dumfries and Galloway half term next week, but we only get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But England, you're off all next week. I'm sure you already know this. I'm just letting everybody else know. So if you're heading off for a little sneaky one to Tenerife or Lanzarote or Portugal or wherever, enjoy the sunshine. And yeah, we wish we were there. Anyway, I've blabbed on enough. We'll see you in the drive home in not too long. And please remember, if you haven't already, to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You don't need to become a member, just subscribe and you'll get all our stuff over there. Also, the Dalscon Toy and Gift Shop page. Thank you everybody for following that. Alice is doing a great job on there, showing you all our gifts and toy related retail wise. We're up to 5,100 followers on there, which is amazing. Thank you. Can we get it to 5,200 today? Yeah, keep pressing that button. And also the Dalscon Daily page, where you'll get all the daily updates on what's happening in the farm park out there. Now it is light, and we could have went for a look, but I've run out of time. But Ben will be on with the Dalscon Daily. If you're on that page, just give it a follow. It's our sister page. They're all connected with Dalscon. It's just with the few issues we're having with our main page, it's good to have some alternatives in case something happens to that. So that's why we're on YouTube. That's why we've got the Dalscon Daily. Marvel is limping a wee bit on her front leg. We're going to have to investigate that today. So I think I will let you all go. Thank you for joining me on today's 6:36 Club. We'll see you back here, same place, same time, Tuesday, God willing. Have a wonderful day. Brandon Lake, Jelly Roll, Broken Hallelujah. Check it out. You're going to love it. Guaranteed it. God bless. Ta-da.